"I'm going to become a vampire when I die." These chilling words from Arnold Paole set off a series of eerie events in 1732. After his burial, 4 mysterious deaths occurred. When authorities exhumed his body, they noted unsettling signs, sparking further intrigue. This account wasn't crafted by a novelist. It was documented in the Visum et Repertum, an official military report signed by officers and doctors. This document, which ignited Europe's vampire hysteria, still exists today. The blend of factual investigation and eerie legend makes the truth behind it more disturbing than fiction. 7 years before Arnold Paole's last words, in 1725, the Serbian village of Kisiljevo faced a chilling mystery. 9 villagers died within a week, each claiming with their last breaths that Peter Plogojowitz, a man who had died weeks earlier, had strangled them in their sleep. The panic escalated to the point where Austrian military officials launched a formal investigation, taking the vampire claims seriously. Witnesses described Plogojowitz appearing at night, his face twisted with hunger. He visited his family first. His widow reported him demanding his shoes before attacking her. Other villagers awoke choking, unable to breathe, insisting they saw the dead man leaning over them. This led to an exhumation that would change European folklore forever. Opening Plogojowitz's grave was like a scene from a Gothic novel brought to life. His body, expected to be decaying, was preserved. Fresh blood smeared his lips, as if recently fed. His hair and nails had grown unnaturally long, clear signs of undead activity to the villagers. Officials noted every detail: the lack of decay, swollen fingers, and reddish fluid seeping from his mouth. Locals performed the ritual demanded by terror, a wooden stake through the heart, followed by flames to cleanse whatever walked in Peter's skin. The effects were immediate. With Plogojowitz's body destroyed, the mysterious deaths ceased. But the impact spread beyond Kisiljevo. Austrian officers documented the case with clinical precision, avoiding supernatural explanations. They recorded the physical condition of the corpse, the burning methods, and the timeline of deaths. Their reports circulated through military channels, reaching Vienna and beyond. This case became the template for future vampire investigations, establishing 3 traits central to vampire myths: forbidden preservation of the dead, drinking of blood, and nighttime predation. Officials treated these cases as medical mysteries, not ghost stories. When villagers spoke of the undead, educated men listened, recording evidence as if conducting autopsies. The Plogojowitz report contained diagrams of the grave, measurements of hair growth, and lists of symptoms suffered by victims, scientific details that made vampire cases impossible to dismiss as mere peasant fears. Arnold Paole's chilling foresight cast a shadow over his village. Before his death in 1732, the Serbian soldier confessed to consuming dirt from a vampire's grave, hoping to cure an affliction. This revelation not only violated burial customs, but also hinted at his own transformation, leaving villagers in terror rather than reverence as they laid him to rest. Within weeks, 4 neighbors died suddenly, showing symptoms of weakness and pallor, claiming visits from Paole at night. Unlike previous hesitations, local officials swiftly exhumed Paole's body. They found his remains defying natural decay. Flexible joints, colored skin, and fresh blood on his lips and teeth. Eerie chewing noises near gravesites kept villagers awake, and some exhumed corpses had partially eaten shrouds, their mouths stuffed with torn fabric. The official report, the Visum et Repertum, meticulously documented these anomalies. Military surgeons verified the phenomena, lending the account a weight of authority. The report described physical occurrences without supernatural language, noting how corpses groaned when staked, and fresh blood flowed from wounds despite weeks underground. These findings ignited debates across Europe. Theologians questioned what the chewing dead meant for Christian doctrines. If consecrated ground couldn't prevent corpses from rising, did it challenge church teachings on resurrection? Some priests saw damned souls trapped between worlds, while others sought natural explanations. Paole's case struck deeper fear because he foresaw his fate. Unlike others who became vampires by chance, Paole seemed to understand and resist the process. His attempt at self-cure mirrored later vampire folklore. This foresight made his story uniquely terrifying, suggesting vampirism wasn't random but perhaps contagious or hereditary. The detailed documentation of his case gave vampire beliefs a legitimacy that echoed through European culture for centuries. Between 1725 and 1755, reports of vampire attacks spread through Eastern Europe like a contagious nightmare. The real outbreak was fear, fueled by disease epidemics and political instability in Habsburg-controlled regions. Austrian military records show vampire sightings spiked during malaria and typhus outbreaks. Symptoms like paleness, bleeding gums, and nighttime agitation mirrored vampire traits, leading terrified villagers to see their sick neighbors as sinister beings returning from the grave. Medical confusion was rampant. Diseases left victims gaunt and feverish, resembling folklore's undead. Without modern pathology, coughing up blood was seen as nocturnal feeding evidence. Typhus sufferers often experienced delirium at night, prompting claims of vampire attacks. Villages were trapped in a cycle where disease bred fear, and fear made people see monsters instead of microbes. Political tensions worsened the panic. Locals viewed Austrian authorities as oppressors, and vampire hysteria became a form of defiance. The vampire myth became a way to process disease and political oppression. Folk traditions held that vampires attacked their own families first, a metaphor for societies turning on themselves during crises. The medical community fiercely debated the phenomenon. Some physicians argued vampires resulted from premature burial, citing corpses with torn fingernails. Others proposed conditions like porphyria, a blood disorder causing light sensitivity and anemia, as explanations for the pale, sun-avoiding creatures. Religious authorities faced challenges too. In 1749, the Catholic Church banned vampire beliefs, yet local priests continued investigating reports. Theological implications troubled clergy. If consecrated ground couldn't stop these creatures, what did that say about divine protection? Yet these explanations didn't calm populations witnessing real suffering from disease and famine. The vampire myth filled gaps in understanding, offering a supernatural cause more manageable than random microbial death. The vampire myth endures because it touches our deepest fear, that death may not be the end. Modern science attributes undecomposed corpses to cold climates or oxygen-deprived soil. Yet, the cases of Plogojowitz and Paole remain unsettling, with fresh blood in mouths, and sounds from graves challenging easy explanations. Slavic studies experts note these beings evolved from disease-linked demons to cultural icons. Their timelessness lies in mirroring human tensions between science and superstition, control and hunger, mortality and what lingers after. Do these myths reflect our reality, or do they reveal our deepest fears of the unknown?